What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to talk to you all about camera gear. We did a post on our community tab on YouTube and this was one of the most requested videos. So let's go. So in this video, I'm going to go through all of the equipment that we use on a daily basis to film our tours and our vlogs for our YouTube channel. So a little bit of history about me. I've been filmmaking for the last 16 years and I was gifted a camcorder when I was around 14, and I used to go down to the skate park, make skateboard videos with my mates, and that's how it all started. I've been professionally filmmaking for the last 12 years and had the pleasure of traveling all over the world, creating content for different brands. I've run my own production companies and generally it's been a really good journey. One thing it's really easy to do is get wrapped up in the camera gear. I really believe it is all in the story, and if you've just got an iPhone or any sort of camera, you can make it work as long as the story is good, as long as the sound is decent. The sound is really important. So the first thing in my Pelican case 1510, this thing is a beast and this thing has traveled all over the world with me. It can go on planes, it can get beaten up. I'm pretty sure it's waterproof and it can float as well, so it's a really good hard case to have and it fits the majority of my equipment in. There's some kit that I don't have with me at the moment. I've got various kit for different jobs. If I'm doing broadcast work, then it'll be a completely different setup. This video today is talking about what we use for our vlogs and our tour videos. So the first thing I've got in the case, this is one of my favorite cameras that I've ever owned, and this is the Sony A7S Mark II. This thing is a beast, and to a lot of people it just looks like, you know, a photography camera, just takes photos, but in fact I don't think I've ever even taken a photo on it. I use it just for film. It is a beast in low light. This thing has crazy ISO capabilities. It can basically see in the dark, which is perfect for when I'm filming van tours, because when I'm filming van tours, they're generally in small spaces and they're generally fairly dark as well, very mood lit places, and there's not a lot of light coming into them. So this camera is an absolute must for when I'm filming my van tours. On the front of this camera, I've got the Tokina 11-16. A lot of people ask me, how do I get wide shots in tight spaces in the vans that I film? And this is the lens that I use, the Tokina 11-16. It's a really good lens, 2.8 aperture, and it does a really good job. It's actually quite sharp and it's the best Tokina lens that I've owned, to be honest. So a lot of you might be wondering how I get a Canon fit lens to fit on a Sony camera, and I use a Metabones adapter. It's really good. It does the job. I've never had a problem with it whatsoever. The image is still nice and sharp. You don't see any loss of light really, so I really recommend the Metabones adapter. Before I moved to the Sony camera, I already had lots of Canon fit lenses, so I didn't want to just drop everything and move over to Sony glass. Also, the reason that I got the Pelican case is that it's very robust and it fits in the van really nicely. It means that I can put this in the van, I can chain it to the chassis of the van, and this thing is not going anywhere. When we got broken into, there's no way they were taking this. They took everything else, but this was very, very secure. So when you're filming outside in this bright sunshine, on the A7S, it doesn't have built-in ND filters. So for that, I've got this really nice Tiffin variable ND filter. And the way it works is you just turn this around and it gets darker or lighter depending on how much light you want to cut out going into the sensor. So the next camera I'm going to talk about, which I take all my images for Instagram and the book we are creating, is on this Canon 60D. It's not the best camera anymore, but I did get it in 2013 and it's an absolute workhorse. I do actually own the Canon 6D as well now. I don't have that with me because I broke the shutter doing too many time lapses on it in Norway, and I haven't had chance to get it fixed, but I will be getting that fixed. The Canon 60D it's pretty much all I need, to be honest. It does the job. It's not amazing in low light. It is old technology, but the reason I got it was I had a Canon 7D. I was in America. I was shooting bears in Yellowstone, photography that is, not with a gun. And I saw 7 bears in one day. The only problem was, before I managed to shoot any of them, the camera died. So I had to jump on like B&H Photo and order the quickest camera I could get to where I was. The Canon 60D at that time was very good, and it was perfect for what I needed for that, to finish that trip off so I could finish shooting the bears. But I've still got it, and it really does do the job. On the front of it, I've got the 24-105 Canon L lens. This lens is f4. It's actually really good. Like, I really like it. You can, with this camera is not a full frame camera, so it's a crop sensor, APS-C. So it means that the lens on the front is actually longer than 24-105. So you get an equivalent of a longer lens basically. So it's really nice for compressing them backgrounds, shooting mountains. Like, I really like it for my van spotting photos that I do, especially out in South Portugal where there's so many vans. I just love going around, and I can dial in this zoom right to 105, and I can just compress the background, have the van stick out and look a lot bigger than it actually is, and it just works really well. So that's the Canon 60D. As I said before, I don't have the 6D with me. I also don't have the GoPro. The van is not a very big van at all, but for some reason I seem to lose stuff, and the GoPro 4 is in there somewhere. The GoPro 4 is an amazing camera as well. You know, you can get so many cool shots, time-lapse, stick it on the outside of the van. There's so many cool things that you can do with the GoPro, and it adds a really nice touch to the vlogs. Another thing that works really well with the GoPro is this Gorilla Pod from Joby. This thing is amazing. You can literally just attach it to anything, a tree, or, you know, a gate, or put it on top of the van. Just wherever you want to mount this thing, it will pretty much mount. The good thing about this is it will actually take a bigger camera. So when I shot the Kungsleden film, I used the Canon XF100 camera, and that was amazing for the job. It was a little bit bigger than a DSLR, but this thing managed to hold it perfectly, even in high winds. So I'd really recommend this thing. Sticking on tripods, I have this Manfrotto BeFree tripod, and this thing is a beast as well. Like, I've had this for a few years now. It's been bashed about, it's been thrown about, it's been in horrible conditions in Norway, and it's survived. So I definitely recommend this for a nice lightweight tripod that you can go hiking with. You know, it's not very expensive. I think it's like 150 quid or something like that, but it's really good quality. So back onto lenses. In here, I have a 17-40 Canon L lens f4. This thing is really good. I really enjoy this lens for landscapes. I shot loads of landscapes in Norway and Scotland on this lens. Super sharp. Generally when you shoot in landscapes anyway, I'll probably shoot like f11. So it doesn't matter that it's an f4 lens. I don't need that low light capability really when I'm shooting landscapes. So this right here is my favorite lens that I own. It's the Sigma R 18-35 1.8. So you can get that nice shallow depth of field. This is really nice for like them lifestyle shots for Instagram. You know, anything product type stuff, landscapes. This is a really versatile lens, and I use this a lot when I'm filming the van tours. So I use this for photography, but also for film. I'd say I probably use it more for film. It's really good for getting them lovely interview, shallow depth of field shots. You can get wide, you can get close enough, and it's got a really good macro on it as well. The last lens in my collection was actually gifted to me by my dad. It's a Nikon 50mm, and I've just got a little cheap dumb adapter that fits on straight onto the front of any camera that I'm using. It's a beautiful lens. He used to take shots of me when I was a kid with this lens, so it's really nice that I can carry it on and use it. And it's a sharp lens, but it's got a nice softer feel to it. A lot of the modern lenses are really sharp, almost too sharp, and this has a nice softer kind of glow to it, which is really nice. So one of the things you need to power all of this equipment is batteries, and I tend to keep my batteries in this nice little pouch that I got with one of my hiking backpacks. It's really good, and the majority of my batteries do fit in there, just about. I do have about 25 different batteries, so yeah, a lot of them are small, like the GoPro ones. I don't know if I can show you. GoPro batteries, they're tiny little thing. The Sony A7S Mark II batteries are really small as well. And the Canon batteries are a little bit larger. And my Canon C100 that I don't actually have here today, that's the kind of stuff that I shoot broadcast stuff on. The batteries are huge, so they definitely won't be fitting in here. So talking about accessories, this is my #1 accessory. This is the Blackmagic Video Assist monitor that I put on my shoulder rig that is down here. So this is my shoulder rig, just there, and then this fits on the top there, and I can see exactly what I'm recording. When I'm filming on the 18-35 1.8, I want to make sure that I've got pin sharp focus, and this really helps with that. It's got loads of different features on it. You can add custom LUTs and all sorts of stuff. This shoulder rig is custom. It's made up of loads of different brands, bits and pieces. I just got loads of different pieces and built something that worked for me. It's pretty lightweight, it's really nicely balanced, and I can have my monitor on here, my camera on here, and I can get to focus really nicely. It's a really good piece of kit, and this is how I get really nice steady shots with the A7S II. So a lot of you guys who watch the vlogs and the tours have probably seen the drone footage, and we get so many questions about what drone I use. I know there's so many different drones out now, like DJI just announced the Mavic Air. It looks amazing, I'd love one, but do I really need one? The drone that I've got right now is perfect for what I need. The Mavic Air would be nice for traveling because it's a lot smaller than the drone I have now, which is the Phantom 4. So this is the drone I have now, the DJI Phantom 4, and it's incredible. It is kind of outdated now. There's been so many drones since that one came out, but is it outdated for me? I always think, you know, you can hold on to kit a little longer. It shoots 4K. The image is perfect for vlogs and tour videos. So I'm gonna stick with that for a little bit and then maybe upgrade to the Mavic Air or see what they bring out in the future. So as I said, the Mavic Air, the Spark, they're all smaller drones, but I have hiked many mountains with this thing. It's not the most comfortable, and I wish the Spark and the Mavic were out at that time, but they wasn't available. They wasn't even invented then. So this thing is great because it comes with a box as well. And I've got, just in here, I've got a nice little ND16 filter. So when I'm shooting in the middle of the day, like today, the shutter speed isn't crazy and it gives it that more filmic look. I got some spare blades as well down here, and I've also got 3 batteries so I can keep recording. I think it's like 25 minutes of recording time per battery, so I've got plenty of time. 25 minutes flying a drone is a long time. Okay, so let's talk about sound. Sound quality is really important to me in my videos. I think if the video quality is bad, people will hang around for a little bit and just suss out the video, see if they like it. But if the sound quality is bad, they will switch off straight away. So we always try our hardest to get good quality sound. Right now I'm wearing the Rode SmartLav that goes directly into my iPhone. It's an amazing device, really low cost. It only costs about £40, so there's no excuse really for not getting good sound. The other sound kit that I have and what I use for filming tours is this right here. These are the Rode Link wireless mics, wireless lav mics, and these are amazing, really good sound, and also they're not very expensive. I think you can pick brand new a set of these up for like £300. So yeah, really good, again from Rode. Also, natural sound is really important. So we use this little bad boy, and this is a tiny little shotgun made by Rode. It's the Rode Micro. If I take this off, you'll see just how small that is. It's really good, and it allows you to capture that really crisp natural sound. So with our vlogging camera, we don't actually have a mic input. And at first I was a little bit wary about this, but the sound quality from our vlogging camera is absolutely wonderful. And most of the time the vlogging camera is right out in front of you, so you've got that good quality sound, you're nice and close to the microphones. And I've also retrofitted some kind of fluffy material over the top of the mics to make sure there's no wind interference as well. So keeping on the subject of microphones, I have a couple more mics to show you, and this is one of my favorite mics. This mic here, it's really short, shotgun mic, and it's what I use to record all of the sound for the Kungsleden documentary. So if you've not seen the Kungsleden documentary, go and watch it because the sound is really, really good. And this was just mounted on top of the camera, and it really does project this mic. It's really nice. And as you can see, it's really, really short as well. So I really recommend this Audio Technica short shotgun mic. The link will be in the description. Another shotgun mic that I have down here is the Rode NT-G2. This is a lot bigger, also a really good mic, fairly low cost, and it does the job for, you know, being on a boom pole. I do have a couple of boom poles in the van. I'm not going to show you all of the grip stuff that I have. You know, I've got mic stands and all of that kind of stuff as well, but we'll keep it to actual mics and camera gear. But yeah, this Rode NT-G2, everyone seems to have one. It's a fairly old mic now, but it does the job. So the last thing talking about sound is this recorder right here. This is the Zoom H4n, and this recorder really does pack a punch for how small it is. It's got a lot going for it. It's very old now. I've had this for many, many years. It's a complete workhorse. It's been bashed around and it's survived. So I didn't really feel the need to upgrade to the new one because this one's still working. The sound quality is still amazing on it. And yeah, I really recommend the Zoom H4n. Obviously there is newer, better technology out now, but this is what I record all of our podcasts with them two shotgun mics that I just showed you. So another really important things to up your production value, and if you're hanging out in dark spaces like vans and you're filming in vans, then get yourself a light. This light is so low cost. It's the Neewer CN 160. You can pick these up from Amazon for like 20 quid. And I use these big Sony batteries with them, which keeps them going for days at a time, which is really good. And it's even got a dimmer, so you can turn it on and you can dim the light. Really good, really recommend it. It is cheap, but I got a couple of these and these really are good for the van. If I was filming in a professional setting, then I would use bigger lights. I would use more power hungry lights, but these are really good when you're traveling. So one of the things you might be wondering is, how do you charge all of your camera gear in a van? And it's quite simple. I just have got 12-volt chargers for everything. So this is one for my Sony batteries and a GoPro one. And I've also got ones for my Canon batteries as well, and the other Sony batteries. So everything's covered for 12-volt charging, which really makes the difference. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and is a little insight into the equipment we use to film our videos. If you've got any questions at all, please leave them down in the comments and I'll try and answer as many questions as I can. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.
Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe now and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. If you want to support us and help continue making our videos, then join us on Patreon from only $1 a month. See you on the next one.